All right, this is a brief movie about the new Intelligent Assistant. This is the third version of the Intelligent Assistant we've built, and I think we finally have it right. So first of all, in your preferences, you can set up a lot of things about AI. You can choose the language model that you want. We support OpenAI, we support Gemini, we support Azure. And there's also a tab for Intelligent Assistant. You can disable the Intelligent Assistant, which you can do if you don't want to use it. You can enable it, or you can open it on startup. So after you log in, it will automatically open. So the Intelligent Assistant is really easy to bring into play. There's an Assistant button here on the main screen, and if you click that, you can open the Assistant. You can also simply drag out this right-hand sidebar, and that will bring the Assistant into play. So when you open up the Assistant, you'll see that you can choose which assistant you want to work with. You can have an architect, a developer, administrator. You can also build your own assistants. And you can switch between those on the fly whenever you want to switch. The other thing you'll see is your projects. So these are some projects that I'm working with that are the default projects that come with Snapshot, but you can also create your own projects. And if you give the assistant a little bit more room here, you'll see that there's some additional buttons that let you edit these things. So for example, I can change my assistant or create new ones or projects. I can also define the user, that's myself, that's using the assistant, and what tools the assistant uses. So for example, if we bring up the assistant editor, we can see here's the assistants that I've created. I've given them names. You can do that if you like. And the assistant also has a particular role. They can be an administrator, an architect, or a developer, and also a guidance style. They can be reactive, in which case they just react to what you do. They can be advisory. They can be collaborative, or they can be proactive, where they kind of are willing to take the lead and really help you in a maximum way get your projects done. The assistants have a background color that you can edit here, and they have an avatar that you can edit right there. There's also projects, so you can give your project a name and a description, and then down here your project milestones are durable artifacts that have occurred during your project, and the language model will populate the milestones with a date and a simple milestone for each thing that has occurred or that you have achieved. And you can also edit these milestones if you like. So if a milestone's in there that you don't think is very helpful, you could remove that, or you could add your own, whatever you want to do. But the project description is totally under your control. The project milestones are also edited by the language model. And then on the user tab, if you give your user a name, the assistant will be able to address you by name and a job title, tell them your experience level with Salesforce, with Snapshot, and that helps the assistant guide their responses to be the most useful for you. And if you don't want to share all this stuff, you can click the Do Not Share context button right up there. And then lastly, there's tools. So this assistant is a tool-wielding assistant that has access to very powerful tools to list metadata, to look at your snapshots, to fetch metadata assets from those snapshots, to launch reports on your behalf, to view the current screen, to take actions and click on the current screen, and to actually even look at data. These last three are data-based tooling. And so you can click on any of these and see exactly what the tool does over here, and then you can make it available or not available if there's some limitation on the tools that you want your assistant to have access to. And so it really couldn't be much simpler. The assistant can answer any question about the current screen. The assistant is an expert on Snapshot and all of the reports and capabilities in Snapshot. And the assistant can also do things for you, like launching reports, clicking on report tabs, selecting things, answering any kind of question. So here's a little demo. I can ask my assistant to look for technical debt. They automatically launch the Forgotten Assets report on the right snapshot that I'm interested in. I tell them that I want to look at validation rules. I ask them if there's any conflicts in those rules. And as you can see, my assistant automatically fetches the metadata behind the report, bringing up those rules and analyzing them completely. What's cool about this is your assistant can help you on the main desktop, in any of the reports or dashboards, or any aspect of Snapshot.